good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to MATCHFIT Entertainment's official coverage of Rain Light Racing's LMU series. It is season 10 here for Rain Light Racing. We are at Lemans, round 7. Here tonight, series proudly brought to you again by SIMBLACKS, obviously getting on board with the boys at Rain Light Racing, and obviously broadcast to you live by MATCHFIT Entertainment. I'm Davo, J-Man right by my side. However, J-Man is suffering just some technical difficulties at the moment. So, how are you going, my friend? Are you there? Are you on? Are we... he's probably in the background.
Evening, mate. No, I am here.
Beating the computer. Yeah.
Evening, Davo. Just it's a constant work on at the minute. But hey, look, nonetheless, round 7, Lemans. It should be a good night here. We've seen them here before. They were here last season. It was a fantastic race, and I think it's going to be more of the same. So it'll be interesting to see what manufacturers as well as drivers prosper here, because we saw this was about the time last season that we saw a little bit of a shake up. The Aston looked particularly good. I've heard rumours that it isn't as good as maybe they would have liked previously. However, we'll see what happens out there. The championship is heading towards the back end now, like we just said, round 7.
Yep.
Plenty to play for. And Nathan Bewley coming off the back of some really good form of late, so it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. George Goddard looked very, very quick in practice, what I have seen. Albeit limited. So
true.
I'll keep battling away in the background here, so I may just let you two undertake this qualifying.
Yeah.
And, fingers crossed I can sit on your 6 o'clock, mate. But
we'll see how we go. Yes, and I think we both got our fingers crossed here. Not only a J-Man getting some dropouts tonight, so we're just getting a little bit of CDT from the game. And since the last update, a few people experiencing just some niggly bugs. And clearly J-Man and myself are both actually suffering from some of those. J-Man definitely a little worse than myself, because as you can see right here, we are on track. Obviously recent updates again, as well as affected server issues, so some of the skins that we're used to just quietly might not be showing. Costas Makalos being one of them. So some of them are, some of them aren't. But here we are, and we have got the show on the road, and we are live here for round 7 at Lemans for Rain Light Racing's LMU series. Should be a cracker, like a J-Man already mentioned. Stellar race last season, earlier in the year. I think it was actually George Goddard, and you actually already mentioned George showing some good pace in pre-race practice. There he is in a Ferrari, but last season we saw that, I'm pretty sure it was Goddard, take the win here in one of the Mustangs with a very conservative drive. So definitely had the strategy tinfoil hat on, did George, and really, even though he stayed right up towards the pointy end of the field, was able just to sit in the draft of the cars in front of him and really just kept his nose out of trouble and brought the Mustang home, I think, with one less pit stop or something compared to the rest of the field. So very clever stuff from George Goddard. And here we are again, season 10, 6 months later or so, and or not even, should I say, but topping the leaderboards for lap times. So I don't think he's conserving here in qualifying. Let's just say that. Extremely long track. I'm sure most people that are watching this will be familiar with the circuit. Extremely long circuit. Extremely long straights. 21 cars on track, I think, is going to give us a relatively exciting race. So, but it is all about the strategy here. When you come to these very, very long circuits. But in saying, yes, indicative times are just starting to come across. Rob Mitchell just sneaking across the line there as we were. Pete Dawson, I think, still coming around the final few sections of the circuit here. No, he's actually he's on a lap. So as is Lee Perkins, he's only just gone across the line as well. Ken Worcester, where is he on track? Let's get eyes on that Lexus, the Wheels Inc. car. Getting plenty of airtime over the last few weeks with some stellar performances from Kenneth Worcester. We were talking him up last week about how good his effort was the week before, and he delivered again last week. So nice work from Ken. Harry Lawrence, another one that's been getting a little bit of airtime lately. I think last week came from the back of the field and slowly worked his way through what was a pretty damn competitive field, mind you, at Fuji last week. So Lawrence, man, super quick in that. The plaid Porsche, I was reminded through the week. But yeah, either way, stellar stuff from Mr. Harry Lawrence. But in the pit, what do we got cameras on? I do not know. George Goddard leading the board at the moment. Nathan Bewley, I think, leading the championship at the moment. Currently sitting in first. I'll try that again. First on the championship points, and second, not sixth, second, provisionally on the leaderboard, as we can see. And just sneaks it up to the pointy end. There jumps George to take the top spot. Gunther Rowe provisionally in third, actually just shooting across the line as well. Chris Fraser and Will Dixon and Costas Makalos must have all been tailing him, because he quickly slips down the field. I think probably not his best last lap, these guys. So Gunther back to 8th. But yes, we'll get back up the pointy end. Bewley, Goddard, Fotado, Costas Makalos, Hayden Tegg in, I think that's the Golf Mustang. Yeah, one of the cars that is showing up tonight. Sam Wozniak, Chris Fraser, Nick Firth. Actually, not a bad effort from him, just getting pipped there as well and dropping it in. And Will Dixon running at the top 10. The board is changing rapidly, and as is the conditions out there on track. Time ticking away, and the sun has dropped below the trees. We do have headlights on here for the rest of qualifying. What is the rest of qualifying, you ask? Probably only 1 minute, really. So these guys that are on a lap now will get to, well, might not even get to complete their lap here. So 15 minutes is done and dusted already. Headlights ablaze, so going to be an interesting race. Obviously, time of day, the visual challenges that you get with racing at night, any of those little shadows or even surface changes in the road that you're used to using as marks, either turn in, braking or acceleration. Just little visual cues that you use during the day are not there. And so sometimes, quite often, you'll see the pace drop, and some people it's more considerable than others. So interesting stuff. Nathan Bewley whipped it around for one final. The timer has gone. Got out on the chart. Crossland actually in at the number 43, SIMBLACKS, Aston Martin. Nice work. He's actually driving well. Podium for Steve Crossland last week as well at Fuji, so awesome stuff. Holding down third position, Shane Frodo and Costas Makalos. There's one of the Mustangs in the wall. Just a little bit back there. Hayden Tagg provisionally Wozniak 7th. Chris Fraser already in pits. Firthy in 9th. And Will Dixon still holding down that top 10 provisionally. And running through this back section of the track here. Very quick complex of left-right corners. Beautiful section of the track actually. Fantastic track to drive this, albeit a lot of it is straightaways. There's a lot of straight line stuff here. But what isn't straight is great to drive, as we see Will run across the line there, do his lap. Oh, actually popping it into third. Just nonchalant, just fobbed him off Will Dixon running across the line, but Will Dixon running across the line and putting the car in provisional third. That sounds a lot more exciting. He will be very happy with that. Shane Frodo, actually, I just see on our timing, they're just getting across the line, pipping Crossy, as does Tagg. Tagg quick tonight. There's Nick Firth and Crossy both across the line, so no changes there. As these guys wrap it up. There's Costas. Oh, there's Costas. Okay, here we've got Lee Perkins out on track in one of the Lamborghini. Currently holding down 13th position. See the sector colours, top right hand corner there for Perko. Nothing overly spectacular. He's working hard in the Lambo. We've seen the last few weeks work extremely hard in the Lambo to get the pace out of it. Coming to grips with the old LMU still, I think, a little, is Lee Perkins. Through this final little complex of chicanes, little double chicane there going on. Where did he just land there? He might have snuck up a position. No, he didn't. I don't think. 13th still. So, nice work, Lee Perkins. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Just quickly, we'll get on to the calendar. There you can see clearly it is round 7. It is going to be a 90-minute race. No compulsory pit stops. These guys will not make it on fuel or EV, so they will definitely be coming in. Quick look at the points. Bewley out in front at 3:53. Nick Firth was in that top spot last week, but Bewley just sneaking past. We've got Lawrence, Makalos, Rowe, Chris Fraser, Mr. Crossland, Famous Crossy, Pete Dawson, George Goddard, and Will Dixon rounding out the top 10 from there. There is more, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Wozniak, Hemi Bateman in 12th. Matty Clark missing tonight. I think he's actually already piped it up in the chat box earlier. Hayden Tagg, 14th, Worcester in 15th, Marnie, Fox, Mitchell, Warren and Glass rounding out the top 20. But yes, there is more. Isaac Ichikawa, Kramer, Perkins, Satherley, Thackeray, Mr. Roo holding down at 26, Ben Goebel Shane Frodo, I think he's only raced one race, so sitting in 28th. Craig McConnell and Ryan Clements rounding out the 30. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to get behind the Rainlight Racing boys on their socials. Link just there in that graphic, so jump on it, scan it with your phone, get that QR code locked in. I'll leave it up there for a second, and get over there, follow them on their socials, and support Rainlight Racing, and while also keeping up with everything Rainlight Racing and the current goss and news, photos and the like, particularly on Instagram there, so definitely keep an eye on there and support there, as well as MATCHFIT Entertainment. So give us a like, guys, and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends about it, share the video around, and support not only Rainlight Racing but MATCHFIT Entertainment.
Formation lap has started.
We have got to get to the action, ladies and gentlemen, because these guys are already sizing up for a race here at Lemans tonight. 90 minutes. 90 minutes, no compulsory pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. And their interesting grid already, notably Nathan Bewley, Goddard, Dixon and Teg up in there, which is awesome. Shane Frodo also holding out a second row position there. Steve Crossland in 6. Costas Macrolos, Nick Firth, Sam Wozniak and Pete Dawson rounding at the top 10. Well done from Pete, usually rocking a MATCHFIT Entertainment car. Let me just have a quick look at that. I don't think that paint has come up tonight. Either way, doesn't matter. We know he's thinking about us. As short formation lap here, lights ablaze. So interesting start here under lights. Looks like I've lost my wingman totally now tonight, so there's not going to be a hell of a lot of data here, ladies and gentlemen. It's just going to be me yelling at the mic and trying to keep up with what's going on what is a very long and fast track. What here in the field, 21 all up. That is a race if you've ever seen it. The platform looks fantastic. Just look at the vision there, and we have a green flag, ladies and gentlemen. And the run up to 1. Goddard just sneaking in behind Bewley. But look at Dixon and Teg. Just having a little bit of an argument who wants to go first there. Tucked in behind Shane Frodo and Crossland. Side by side up to the corner, as well as they just remove some of the braking marker boards off to the side. They're not necessary. These guys know where they're going. What great pictures here from Lemans as the field runs through here. Opening lap, 90 minutes racing again. Boards are flying. Just making a little bit of space, guys. Just a little bit of space. Here we are. That is lead car in that little group there is Nick Firth, currently holding down 7th position. That is Gunther Rowe in the BMW. Already looks like he wants to have a crack. Costas Macrolos tucked in behind. And that is Mr. Sam Wozniak. Just in behind that. There he is in the BMW. These guys run down the Mulsanne for the first time. Here we are, round 7. Rainlight Racing's 2025 LMU Series. There's a bit of movement in the back here too, if we just get back. That is Marnie. So I think it is. Going at it. And it continues on back through. Back a shot there as well. Actually, I think it's Marnie and Mitchell. Looks like Mitchell made that happen. we just will sneak up the back up the point here because just have a look at Dixon and Teg still at it. Still trying to work out who wants to go first. Look at it in the background here. Look at this group of 5 cars. So Firth gone back a couple of positions. No surprise. Rowe was one of them. Steve Crossland, another. The draft, they can get down the Mulsanne. It's epic. Crossing's actually snuck into a little bit of clean air, unlike Firthy, Rowe first and Makalos in the background. Look at these lot. That is Makalos and Firth side by side in there. Oh, man. Someone had to get out of that. Fraser and Wozniak just tucking behind. Anybody would think this is a bloody sprint race. Is that Wozniak? Having a look. Look at this. Shane Fonato. Who is that? Goddard. So Bewley's made a mistake. Bewley's back. That is Shane Fonato tucked in there. So Dixon and Fonato through. Dixon struggling. Bewley. What's happened to Bewley? Wonder if he's had contact too. Doesn't look comfortable in the car. Haven't even completed lap run, and we have got a massive shake-up up the top already. George Goddard with it. Shane Fonato now in second. Will Dixon, as we just noticed, sneaking past Bewley as Hayden Teg actually looked like he wanted to go with. Teg's got Crossing to worry about though. First lap, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Just wow. That is madness. Here we go. Marnie. I think that is, no, that's Mitchell. I keep getting Mitchell and Marnie mixed up there, but Mitchell, Rob Mitchell there, starting to put some temperature on the back of Pete Dawson as well. So first lap shenanigans. It looked a very clean race. Actually, it still is. We didn't actually see what happened to Bewley. All we know is that he definitely went back a few positions from first back to fourth. And it looks like he's still trying to find his feet a little bit. Look at that field of cars, and look at Steve Crossland on the back of Tegsy there. It doesn't get any closer than that. The punch of the Mustang though, is there a bit bump draft? Does he stay off his bumper bar? Close stuff. Who's that in the background? That looked like Makalos and Rowe. No, it's not. Maybe it was further back than that. Here we go. There's Firth. Let's get back a couple more. Wozniak. Oh, actually, look behind that. That is Fraser. Let's see if we can get a better angle on that. Fraser, Mitchell, Dawson. That's Fox actually tucked in behind there as well. Coming with. Lemans. Always creating drama somehow. What's going on in the background here? This is Fox. Fox and Marnie. Puts the Merc down there. Oh, geez, he only just kept that together. It's Ken Worcester in the background. Oh, and Fox off. No. I just got onto the loud pedal a bit early for Fox there. turns it. Bit of a touch on the wall there. That might affect the dynamic of the car, so we will keep an eye on Fox's progress. Dixon, stellar job here. Great camera angles there. That is Shane Fodderdo tucked in behind. Bewley not that far behind either. Teg and Crossland. Oh, and Crossley off! The back section of the circuit there. Only just makes it to the fence. The slightest of touches on the fence there. But positions lost. Back to 16. From, I think he was 4th. Not happy. So Crossy recovers as Teg takes his position. Actually, yeah, Crossy would have been 5th. Yeah, I think. So, there you go. Bit of a shake-up. Just a tad in the first couple of laps there. Crazy stuff. Nothing that we weren't expecting, though, mind you, to be honest. Picking up on the leader here. The leader in George Goddard. In the Ferrari, of course. With a fairly healthy gap back to Shane Fodderdo. Does that really mean much? Probably not. Because anything could happen. You guys know that. That's... Will Dixon and Fodderdo. Here we go. So good little exchange here. Brake discs are glowing. Fodderdo overshoots the braking area ever so slightly, just enough to let Dixon sneak on through there. You can see in back a shot there. That is Gunther Rowe, Costas Makalos and Nick Firth. Next group is Wozniak, Fraser and Dawson. All in camera shot there. But Will Dixon, nice move there. A little bit of a couple of little exchanges. I think there was a couple of changes of position there down Mulsanne there, and Dixon getting the BMW into second position when it all came out in the wash. Doesn't mean Shane Fodderdo is going to go anywhere, nor Nathan Bewley, who is actually, I think after those couple of little exchanges we were just talking about, might have just going a little bit on Shane there and might be looking towards making a bit of a move himself. Hayden, you just see in the background there, just a little bit of clean air there, just chasing on these boys. Just got to stay in, stay focused and stay in touch with these guys. As we can see, anything can happen, and most likely will. He actually a little bit loose there. Let's just get that camera back on him. Did he gather that up? Yes, he did. We won't put any more curse on him. Gunther Rowe leading this trio. The Rowe, Makalos, Firth. Little fight going on here as they come up to these last little chicane. Let's go back there actually. Just look what's going on in the background there. Fraser, Dawson, Mitchell. Is that? It's actually Wozniak, I think. Fraser, Dawson, Mitchell. Let's go, it's going hard out. That is the mid-pack right there. Probably the mid-pack probably starts up here a little bit, though. I think with the Gunther Road across to Smackle losses and Nick Firth, to be honest. Quite a healthy gap forward of that to Hayden Tegg in the Golf Mustang there, who is definitely staying in touch with these boys up the pointy. Goddard. Damn, he's got that thing wound up tonight. As we hear it rip past. Will Dixon's coming though. Look at the gap he's made on Fotterdo already. He's got the wing flattened right out of that thing. Bewley. Can he get the move done? This straight goes forever. Gonna give it a crack. He's back in. Just doesn't have the punch. He's gonna have another go at it. Check out in the background there. That's Gunther Road. The Gunther Road cost us back a loss. Look at this lot. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, and then we go back to this lot. Oh, look at that. I think that's actually Pete Dawson dodging and weaving in the background. He's got nowhere to go. This guy's pretty much taken up the road. So spectacular stuff. You can clearly see those three, that lot there. The trio in front, and then Hayden Tegg's mighty Golf Mustang out in front of that. And here we go again. Is this Bewley? It is too. It's Bewley on Fotterdo, and Fotterdo gets the... Oh! Bit of an unforced error there. Was caught a little bit offline, obviously, with the pass from Bewley. It didn't look like there was any contact there. Bit of a snaggy bounce off the inside ripple strip. Back to 8th position. So lost 5. Got that car cleanly turned around. Had just enough gap in the traffic there, here on lap 4, to have done that safely enough. Will want to just sort of get his head straight again. And while we get back up the point, has there been a position change there? There has too. That is Gunther back to, Nick Firth out in front of that little trio there. I'm sure Firth wasn't out in front of that little trio there a lap or so ago before we saw Fotterdo go off. But either way, that's where he is right now. Gunther Rowe holding down 6th position, Nick Firth in 5th. Hayden Tegg, again, clean air, look at him. He's just like, yeah guys, I'm just here, he's doing a stellar job. Definitely got some pace in the Mustang here tonight at Lemans. A little bit of a wriggle. It's the second time we've seen that car a little bit upset off the ripple strips. Bewley going on the chase now. Dixon looks quick. Bewley, after losing the lead before the end of the first lap, I think it was, or might have been the second. Either way, he will be hungry to get back and chase that Ferrari, but Dixon, he has got to get around first. We can still see the Ferrari, actually not too far in front there, of George Goddard. And those guys are not that far behind. Just a little shake or a little slip, a snaggy bounce off a ripple strip, and they are right in touch with that Ferrari. Damn, he's got some pace in that BMW. Look at the legs on it down the straight. The Merc, it's got nothing for it. Looking for the slip, just cannot tag onto it. Nick Firth. Oh, look what's going on behind Nick Firth here. With the Gunther Rowe cost us Macalos. good tight stuff from these guys. Plenty going on. Dixon Bewley. Tag. What a perfect place to be racing this race. Just punching out your laps, hitting your marks, hitting your top, while the rest of them fight it out. Macca lost past Rowe back there, and it wasn't that. Man, look at the range he's gained on Firth. Oh, wow! Just see him under brakes there. Macca, that Corvette stopping like a friggin' demon. Gunther in tow. Wozniak, Dawson, Mitchell. Dawson actually ended up sneaking in between those two there. I noticed Crossy just in the background, recovering from an earlier spin with Ken Worcester tucked in behind. Then we have Smith, Clemens, Mitchell, Marnie, Chris Fraser, Harry Lawrence, which I suspect will be struggling in the Porsche here tonight. Shane Fodderdo back in. He's actually gone back a few more positions. He was in 16th back to 19th. Fox and Wadsworth unfinished with the DNF. So not ideal, as we see. George Goddard roll across to complete lap 5 here. Round 7, Rainlight Racing's LMU series here tonight. Sponsored by the good people at SIMBLACKS. Of course, they're always on board with the Rainlight boys, always giving away cool stuff at the end of the season. So definitely worth getting involved with the Rainlight crew if you like cool stuff from SIMBLACKS, I tell you. And all you got to do is jump in and compete with these guys, and you're eligible for a draw in the prizes. And as always, MATCHFIT Entertainment broadcasting it to you live here on the YouTubes. Davo running solo here tonight with my offsider unfortunately having to leave me posted. So you get to hear me ramble on for the next hour or so. What could be wrong with that? Hit the thumbs up button. Give me some support, people, please. But we will carry on. Where are we actually at race time? Oh, we're nearly a third of the way. No, we're not actually nearly a third of the way through it. Still over an hour and 9 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. But have we seen some action already? Yes, we have. Big change of the positions in that up the pointy end of the field, and it looks like we got a bloody good chase on here between Will Dixon and Nathan Bewley. Bewley losing the lead early in the race and now chasing that position back. Dixon the first man in the crosshairs. Hayden Tegg holding down 4th and doing a bloody stellar job of it to mind you. Nick Firth in 5th with the likes of Costas Makalos and Gunther Rowe. They're going to give Firthy grief all the way. Look at what's going on in the background here though. Pete Dawson, Sam Wozniak, Johnson and Weaving. Bit of an awkward run out of that last right-hander there for old Pete there. It's made him vulnerable in the Aston. Side by side here though. What a drag race. Very equally matched, those two in a straight line, clearly. Oh, it's Wozniak. Brave enough to hold it on the outside. Gets the rights to this one. Dawson looking for that overlap, to hold that overlap for the right-hander. Ain't able to do that. who's that that's tagged on the back of that? None other than Steve Crossland in the 43. SIMBLACKS, Aston Martin. A little bit of an earlier off-track excursion hasn't dampened his enthusiasm as he chases down Robbie Mitchell there. Both those cars moving around a hell of a lot, so these guys trying hard. We're Crossland. Oh, actually, Mitchell just steps aside. It's Crossy run. So field spread a little now. Be interesting to see when we start to see our first indicative pit stops. Geez, I would sort of suspect maybe, guessing 30, 35 minutes in, maybe. Pipe up in the chat box. Some of you guys, I know some of you drivers are sitting here watching, so give the man a hand here, and let us know when you think these guys will start coming in for some pit stops. We are 25 minutes in so far, and the racing's been hot. Firth desperately holding out. Macallos has been tagged onto the back of Firth and his Aston for the last 2 laps. Just hasn't been able to make it stick, but Firthy with an error runs wide. It's like Rowe's going to sneak past him as well. Firth tucks in behind. It's unfortunate. Deep under brakes. Easily done. Massive stop down the end there. They have literally been flat out what seems like about a freaking minute down that straightaway. They gotta just prick a braking mark out of the shadows, out of the darkness somewhere, and get that thing to stop. So, quick shuffle of positions there. Firth back behind not only Macallos but Gunther Rowe as well. So, changes again. Let's just get back a spot. Not actually 2 spots here. Maybe 3 spots. Steve Crossland starting to range up on the back of Dawson here. Both same mark of car. Both in the Aston. Thanks, Wally. We got this. So, yeah, good fight. And it'll be interesting to see how Crossy, Pete, a very good steerer. Crossy may have a little bit of pace on him. I just see a BMW in the background there in the fence as well. That is actually Gunther Rowe, I think, that was in the fence. Back into 12th position. So that has some breathing space to these two, the Costas Macalossus and the Nick Firth of this race. Now with Gunther out of the Sam Wozniak, only a slightest bit of clean air, but we were just talking about the duo, the pairing behind in Pete Dawson and Steve Crossland. Steve Look, both of these guys are good, clean steerers. I think I was just in the middle of saying I think Crossy maybe just a smidge more pace than Beat. But these guys, when they're on point, very, very quick in their own right as they start to rain up on the back of Wozniak for some reason. So Wozniak a little bit slow through just that opening part of the first sector and onto Mosan. And look at Dawson already up under the wing, has the draft. There's a bit of dodging and weaving going on. It's trying to shake Dawson. And look at them, both of them have stepped out on the SIMBLACKS car of Steve Crossland there with that extra tire. Was yeah, quick flash of the headlights. And it's on. Oh, look at Crossland starting to range up right down the back of the straight here. Finally gets a draft off these two. Oh, he's coming in hot. Big stops down here. Big stops, all three of them. Hustling for position. Oh, Dawson passed. Looks like Crossland might be passed. Wozniak as well. Things can change. It's like watching a 250 motorcycle race. My God. Wozniak flashing the lights. And it's on. And it's not over. Look at this. Oh, 3 wide. Come on, guys. Come on. Settle down. Wow. Wow. Dawson, looking. What a move. So Dawson in that exchange there back into the last braking area. Dawson just ran a little bit deep after rounding up Wozniak and Crossland took advantage of that now. So look at them side by side again. Dawson actually has the preferred line here, or does he? Got to get that thing stopped and turn. Oh, big wriggle from Dawson. Grossley unable to live on the outside there, gives Dawson the corner. Good close stuff here from these guys. It's actually a fairly tight little group there, all the way back to... That is Ken Worcester there. So that's Dawson, Crossland, Wozniak, Robert Little, and have we got another change of positions or what? Let's just keep an eye on up here. Oh, that is Hayden Tegg that just flashed up on my Delta. That's why I've got a bit of a flash there. So there's Teggsy running into the pit lane. First, I would say of the official pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. So, there you go. That answered my question. What did I say? About 35 minutes, and we are only just over 30 minutes of racing. So, nice work from Tex. He really has kept his nose out of trouble and just head down. So, we now have Nathan Bewley past Will Dixon with a fairly healthy gap actually, and would no doubt have his sights set on Goddard. Costas Makalos has actually made a break on Firthy after that exchange that did include Gunther Rowe there for quite some until Gunther just snuck it off into the wall there. What's been going on lately is what we've been talking actually about is Mr. Pete Dawson and Mr. famous Steve Crossland battling it out with the likes of Sam Wozniak, who was, I think, actually leading that trio only about a lap and a half ago. Now, tagged onto the back of it. How things can change so quickly. But it is not over. Very much so in touch. As you can see, I think that's Mitchell in the background, Worcester in the background, all of these guys in camera shot. If they're in camera shot here at Le Mans, they are a threat still, because it only takes the slightest of mistakes at these type of average speeds, and there's positional changes. Let's get back out of this. Steve Crosser, clearly these three closest cars on track at the moment. Wozniak is not finished yet. I don't think he just wants crossing, he wants the whole lot. As he flashes and lights again. Crossland looked like he nearly stepped aside, but then didn't. Very close quarter racing here. In what essentially, very close quarter. I think the elbows might have come out a little bit then. Very close quarter racing. Ford is essentially an enduro here too, mind you. These guys are literally racing for positions into and out of these corners here. Quite often a lot of the overtaking happens in the pit stops here. Obviously with these enduro races, but here at Le Mans with this massively long Mulsanne straight, there's a lot going on. There's always something going. If you're within a few car lengths, you got a shot at it. So, but yes, what epic little battle going on in that trio there with Robert Mitchell not too far behind. Actually, let's just get some eyes on. Oh, there's the blimp. Sorry, easily distracted. George Goddard out in front. Let's give the man some airtime. Smashing it out. Look at the gap. What is the gap, you ask? Well, you can probably see it on the board there. It's about 6.7 seconds. Back to Nathan Bewley, who is just rounding that Mercedes out onto the Mulsanne straight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I'm Australian. We just give it a crack and smashing it out there. And look, on the hunt, I think, for George Goddard, one little mistake, and quite often these little mistakes, and I just sort of touched on it there earlier, quite often in these enduros, the overtaking happens in the pits or through strategy. These guys are still yet to pit for their first pit stop. Anything can happen. Nathan Bewley and Will Dixon very much in touch with George Goddard. Quite often we can see them, if we get the right camera angle, we can actually see all three of them in shot together. And there's a good example there. So, yes, plenty going on in the top three. That is still what I would class as a reasonably close Ford battle. Let's go back a spot to Costas Makalos, currently holding down fourth provisionally in the Corvette. Nick Firth, Costas and Gunther Rowe all tangled up in a battle there for a few laps. Gunther exited that chat. Now enter Steve Crossland, who has actually found his way past Dawson and Wozniak as he recovers from an earlier incident. I think it might have been lap 1. And he's found himself past those twos and gapped them considerably in the number 43 SIMBLACKS Aston Martin. The car looks friggin' fantastic here at night, as all of these cars do actually. The platform looks stellar. Wozniak hunting the prey of Pete Dawson. That is the prey. Pete Dawson's the prey. And you can see just in the background Robbie Mitchell and Kenneth Worcester. Actually, let's just get back a bit. Let's have a couple of some of these other guys here. Joseph Marnie in the Merc. Currently holding down 12th position of all positions. Hang on, I just cursed him as he runs there. That is Perko actually chasing him down in the Lamborghini. Watch out, Joseph. Hey, Perko's coming for you. Mitchell Smith in 14th. Chris Fazer in 15th. In the Mustang. Damn, I love that official livery, that Mustang. Awesome stuff. And Harry Lawrence in the Porsche, the plaid Porsche, just quietly, who we have seen just so dominant pace-wise the last couple of weeks, or 3. I think even far back as Coda. So, which I think was round 4 or something. But yeah, awesome stuff. So, but yeah, definitely back a bit. For Mr. Lawrence, Hayden Tegg, pit-stopped car. Ladies and gentlemen, back into 17th position. I think he was holding down 4th when he exited to the pit lane. Shane Fronato in recovery mode after a couple of altercations, maybe unforced as well. So, just rocket on, head down, and still moving forward. Mr. Fox, we also saw this Lexus with maybe a slight little unforced error as well, and a bit of a tap on the wall from the front of in the front of that car as well, but didn't look too bad as he again just carries on and holding down 19th position. A couple of DNFs in Ryan Clemens and Jacob Wadsworth, should I say. What have we got going? We've got Mitchell in the pit lane. We have Marnie. We had Wozniak and Nick Firth, as well as these boys. And here goes Hayden Tegg. Who would have thought? There you go. So there is the pit stops coming into play already. Teggsy back up into 13th there. Sneaking a couple of positions back from the boys there as we see the sun and a little bit of daylight just start to sort of glow in the background. Sun's definitely not up, but dawn is near here. And the race could easily change again, like I sort of mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. Yeah, racing at night it's another challenge in itself. So these guys will be glad to see the sun come up. A little bit of change in track conditions, obviously, as the temps come up, but getting that vision back, which is so crucial to going fast. Funny enough, they'll be good. Very glad to see that sun starting to poke its head above the tree line anytime soon, with the time accelerator working hard. Let's get up the pointy end, just have a quick look at Mr. Goddard. And now we've got a few guys that have already pitted. We are, where are we? Just a little over 40 minutes into the race, and we just saw a flurry of pit stops then. Goddard rolling down towards the pit entry here. Does he go in? Yes, he does. And in saying that, I was just, obviously, Nathan Bewley covering that off. I was going to mention, oh, damn, does Bewley come in hot? Wow. Gets the thing stopped nicely. I suspect that is Dixon. Yes, it is Dixon in 3rd position, covering off as well. Does Costas? Yes, Costas as well. Whew. Okay, who's next? Steve Crossland and Pete Dawson. Because, look, these guys are such a long lap. If they're getting low on their VE, they pretty much do not have a choice. The lap is so long, they could easily get it wrong, as we just see Gunther Rowe actually sneaking up beside the Worcester car there, up to the control line. Massive flurry of pit stops here. Bewley, which I was trying to get to, Currently holding down the fastest lap with a 3 minute 43.9. So nice work from Bewley. I think he's only just got that in the last couple of laps. So he was heading towards Goddard quick, and there you see those two rolling out of the pit lane together. No surprise there. That is Will Dixon. So all in positions. Surprise, surprise. Mr. Dixon. And they are out in the order they came in. As is, I think, Costas Makalos. Now, he should come out in front of Firthy and Crossy, but maybe not Teg. But there's Teg. So Makalos has made a position there. Tegs was holding down fourth in a bit of clean air. And Costas sneaking a position in pits there. Nice work from with Nick Firth just in the background. And we go back. Now, look what's going on here, actually. Sam Wozniak in front of Pete Dawson now. So he snuck a position in as well. So he's done okay in the pit stops. Where did Steve Cross go, actually, out of all of that? See, he should have... Oh, there he is. So he's gone back. He's had a bad pit stop. Because he was in front of Dawson and... friggin' Wozniak there. So, not ideal. As he just sneaks, he literally sandwiches himself in a battle between Marnie and Gunther Rowe. It didn't get much closer. He just thought, look, oh, I think the Aston will fit in here. It's like he's looking for a parking spot in the High Street. Oh, slightest bit of contact maybe there from the Astons. He just sneaks in front of the Mercedes-Benz. Gunther Rowe looking for a bit of side draft. Crossy's car's quick in a straight line tonight. Another that has that wing tipped down very flat. There's Steve Crossland. So Gunther Rowe sneaking past the money Mercedes-Benz as well. And we see Ken Worcester in the background in 15th. Let's just, as these guys start coming up to speed, let's just get eyes on these boys. There you go. You can see Goddard, and that is Bewley just in the background. I would have expected to see Dixon somewhere in that camera shot there, but Dixon looks like just a little bit further back. There's an out of position. I think that's Harry Lawrence, unpitted car, as is the Mustang of Chris Fraser's here tucked in behind. So a couple of unfitted cars there. There's 77 Mustang and Harry Lawrence in the Plaid number 9 Porsche. Costas Makalos, however, is definitely a pitted car, and he has jumped a position in Hayden Tagg in the Golf Mustang, who has done literally a freaking faultless job up until now. Has Tagg's just been running in clean air all night and really looking after the car and just hitting all his marks, not making any mistakes. But Colin, and hence nobody had sort of caught up to him. He's in this really good spot of clean air there. But in the pit stop, sneaky little Costas Makalos was able to get a position on him. Firthy not too far behind Hayden. So definitely gained some Costas over losses from, I think, the two boys around him in Nick Firth and Hayden Tagg. I think Costas really did nail his pit stop there. Massive. Pete Dawson in the background. In 9th position in the number 27 Aston Martin, which is usually painted with a splattering of MATCHFIT coloured paint. But not tonight. Nonetheless, Pete Dawson doing a stellar job. Obviously nailing his pit stop as well, which put him back in front of Sam. Oh no, I think he was in front of Sam anyway. But, well, they were at it anyway. But definitely got back in front of both Sam and Pete. Actually, back in front of Steve Crossan. Crossan clearly had a snaggy stop, putting him back quite a few positions actually. I think they're 1, 2, Wozniak, Robbie Mitchell, Gunther Rowe, 3, 4. So yes, talking about Gunther Rowe and Steve Crossland, here we go. The admin are at it. And again, that Aston blast past the BMW. Gunther just gets a tag on it. Hasn't got anything if he gets out from behind it though. Joseph Marnie, Ken Worcester in the background. Gunther! Last minute! Dive for the inside. Keeps it tidy. Forces an unforced error from Crossy there. Nice work from Gunther. Very nice work from Gunther there. Just put the pressure on. It was enough. Made Crossy really stressed under brakes there and able to sneak through. Who is that in the background? Is that Fotodo just there? It is too. That car looks green sometimes. It's sort of greeny, yellowy, greeny, green. It is green, actually. So he's done well, actually, to come back. I'm not sure whether we've seen that car pitted. That is Gunther Rowe. It is too. With a very sloppy exit out of that corner. Allows not only Crossland but Ken Worcester and Joseph Marnie past there. So that's unfortunate for Rowe. He'll be kicking himself. Marnie. Yeah, just look at the chat box. Shifts and Giggles. Love the name. Right, for starters, we'll start there. But yes, you're right. Stellar drive from Goddard up until now. And look, we have been talking Goddard up pretty much all night because he won this Le Mans last season here in the LMU series. The season 9 LMU series for Rainlight Racing in a Mustang. Stellar job. One less pit stop than pretty much the whole field. Very good, fast, conservative drive. So awesome stuff. But look at Bewley. He's right there. And not going away. Bewley, he's been up there and gone back. And now he's coming back. Albeit slow, he's working his way back there. Look, mind you, he's still got some time. It's just a little under 40 minutes, so we're actually over halfway there. That last 20 minutes just flew by. Plenty going on track, obviously helps that. Look at this. Hayden Tegg has caught up to Costas Makalos just in time for Davo to put the cameras on it. Bloody hell. Go Hayden. Blows past the Corvette in the Mustang like the Corvette's looking for a parking space at the shopping centre. Corvette's going. Come on. I'm coming with. Yeah. So plenty going on here throughout this race. Field, look, the field is spread somewhat, but I have mentioned it a few times in the telecast how, oh, look, if you've got sight, you got vision, you're only sort of 8 or 10 car lengths, you are close. This is close racing. These straights are very long, high average speed on this track, and anything could happen. We have seen that already with the likes of Nathan Bewley. We have seen that with, oh, look, a few drivers, the likes of Shane Fotido, Steve Crossland, bloody Gunther Rowe and the like, where these positions can move up and down randomly. I tell ya, there's always a race on somewhere, and where is the race right now? It is between Hayden Tegg and Kostas Pakalos at the moment. I'm sure there is others. Let's just have a quick scan down through my timing. Shane Fotido and Marnie are close. Shane Fotido driving the bloody Ferrari like it's a drift car, but I'd expect that from Shane, so that doesn't surprise me at all. But let's get up the potty and let's just have another quick look at the situation there. There is George Goddard. Look at that camera shot. Look how close Bewley is there. So that would be concerning for George. He does not need to look at his timing to know where Bewley is, because he can see him very bloody clearly in his rearview mirror. Just listen to that noise. We just heard the Ferrari. God, that thing sounds so flat and strangled in the exhaust. Very boring car to listen to compared to, well, pretty much just the rest of the field, actually. Bewley. Listen to that thing. It's like a Messerschmitt engine. It's got the bonnet length for it, I tell ya. It's a big long bonnet. Mercedes there. All out. Will Dixon. Even these speeders don't sound too bad. A little bit flat. And Chris Fraser. Now, just remembering, Chris Fraser. Unpitted car. I think we have actually seen... Who were we talking about before that was also unpitted? Harry Lawrence has clearly gone into the pits since we saw him last. Who else is in the pits is Mr. Shane Fotido in the pit lane as we speak. Getting that compulsory, well, it's just unnecessary. It's not compulsory at all. Just going to be careful here. This is a full contact pit lane, unlike ACC. So these guys just having to relearn that a little bit. Yeah, come up to speed, be very aware of the vehicles around it. Always full contact here with LMU, very much like RF2. So, awesome stuff. Shane Fotido out of the pit lane, as we just saw Mitch. Who was that? Mitchell Smith. Here we are. Oh, there he is there. Number 31 in the BMW there. Looks like a bit of a South African colour skinned car. Hard and fast. Isn't that how they say it? Anyway, I won't do that again. I apologise for that. Hard and fast. I did it. There you go. Okay, stop. Enough of that. Back to George Goddard and Nathan Bewley. I'm never going to do an accent again. I can do Bogan, so I'm good at Bogan. Australia. This goes without saying. Nathan Bewley on chase. Will Dixon as well, not too far behind. Enough of that malarkey. Chris Fraser, sort of kind of out of position, as we just mentioned, as an unpitted vehicle. Looks bloody fantastic all the same though, but not a drop on this thing. Probably one of my most favourite painted cars actually on the grid. This Golf liveried Mustang suits the car tremendously. And look, Teague's just having a stellar race here. Definitely keeping out of trouble, keeping that car, more importantly, pointed in the right direction. It's so important, keeping it pointed in the right direction. And looking good while he does it. So he's ticking all the boxes there from Davo. Hayden Teague currently running in 5th position, technically actually in 4th, as we do see the Chris Fraser car just rolling into the pit lane, which will slip Hayden up into 4th position, where he should be. Nick Firth will sneak up into 6th position. What happened there? Okay, so Costas Makrolos has dropped a position back while I was probably doing really bad South African impersonations. I missed Costas Makrolos going backwards on Nick Firth after, like we mentioned, Costas making some really good gains in the pit stop there. Look, and just quietly, for most of these guys, or just about the whole field, it won't be their last pit stop either. So, change position at the lead as well. So interesting. Goddard's clearly had a moment there. Put Bewley in the lead of the race. If only LMU would give me a good replay function on this control panel, we could go back and all look at it, ladies and gentlemen, because I missed it as well, unfortunately, but we can clearly see it there. Nathan Bewley leading the race over George Goddard. Like I mentioned, there will be more pit stops. There will be more changes in position. We need to keep a close eye on this stuff. Hayden Teague in 4th. We were just talking about the Teagues. And then Makrolos's changing position. All awesome topics, but in the background, off camera, we just saw a change of position between Nathan Bewley and George Goddard. We're just going to quickly pick up on Ken Worcester in one of the Tokyo taxis, the Lexus, the Wheels Inc. car, with Crossy starting to range up behind him. Just in the background there, you can also see Joseph Marnie and Gunter Rowe. Gunter Rowe's had an up and down race so far. Still a little under 30 minutes to go. Anything could happen yet. Don't go away. I'll be here. I haven't got much choice. I've got to click the buttons. So, sneaky little scroll through the field as the boys come across the start-finish line. There was Nathan Bewley next across the line. George Goddard, Will Dixon in the number 31 BMW. Few BMWs in the field. Hayden Teague. Favourite man on track at the moment. He's getting Davo points for sure is Hayden Teague. Nick Firth. That is Fox just there out of position in the one of the Lexi. Nick Firth has found himself in front of Costas Makrolos. We've already discussed that. Pete Dawson actually starting to range up on the back there of hang on, let me try and get a better camera shot. There you go. Pete Dawson actually starting to range up on the back of Costas and Nick Firth as well. Robbie Mitchell there Kenneth Worcester. Crossy, of course. We just had these guys in shot. Gunther Rowe in the 580 BMW. Lee Perkins in the sketchy Lamborghini. Look at that thing moving around. Sparks are flying off it as he gets it up on the curbs. The thing looks nervous at the hands of Lee Perkins there. The number 60 Bumblebee Lynx Lamborghini. Harry Lawrence just plugging away at it in the number 9 Plaid Porsche. Chris Fraser 14th. Mustang. Joseph Marnie actually just coming out of the pit lane. Currently 15th. Shane Frodo just running across the start-finish line in one of the Ferraris in 15th. Fox in 7th. Mitchell and Wozniak out of the... Oh, Wozniak's out of the race as well. Ryan Clemens and Wozniak is out. Okay. There you go. Well, that's probably taken about a bit of a heat out of what was... Wow, okay, so he was involved with that ding-dong with, I think it was Crossy and Pete Dawson a little bit earlier, so sad to see Sam's car getting loaded on the transporter there. That is very unfortunate. I just wonder whether Goddard is off the throttle a little bit here and just doing a little bit of a sneaky conserve at the end here and just seeing whether this Ferrari can do some tricky stuff with its fuel load. Time will tell. Will Dixon in the background, Hayden Tagg. So you can still see those guys not too far behind each other, apart from each other, should I say. From the helicam there, not doing Davo in the chopper here, not having to work too hard for those camera shots. Another look at what I thought was going to maybe escalate into a little bit more of an intense battle as we see this race go on. That will be Fox just getting out of the road of Pete Dawson in the background. So I think Costas is catching Firthy ever so slightly, but is definitely catching Firth. And I really do think Dawson has the pace to run with both of those guys, so I think it's only going to be a matter of time before we see the Pete Dawson Aston Martin maybe starting to get a little bit of a battle with Costas Makalos and or Nick Firth together. So watch that space. George Goddard only 4.3 odd seconds behind Bewley. It looks like a freaking mile down the road, but at these speeds, only 3 or so seconds apart. Worcester, Crossland. The punch in a straight line from that Lexus. Like, we thought Crossy's thing was fast in a straight line. We saw it a couple of times literally hold its own out the front in front of Gunther Rose. And I think it was Sam Wozniak's BMW earlier. But look at this Lexus go. It punches hard. just cutting through the air there. Doesn't look like the Aston's got anything on it. Through the kink, down to this final part of the straightaway. They just get over this crest here, and then it's a massive stop down to the right hander here. A little bit of a, it doesn't look too bad, that little kink as you brake. And when you're getting it right, it isn't actually that bad. But when you're getting it wrong, it's not good. It is not good. It's very easy to get it unstuck. And so I think someone in the background just did. It might have been actually Gunther Rowe in one of the BMWs. Just rolling out of the dust there. Down the end there. Yes, very easily to get it unstuck down into that braking area. But unlike, oh, hang on, we've got a, come on that camera, we've got this camera. Okay, let's get back. Let's get this sorted. Okay, so who were we chasing before? It was the Pete Costas battle here. So yes, definitely Costas catching Firth. Is Dawson catching? Oh, Dawson actually might have lost a bit of space there in that last half a lap. Out of the front of Steve Crossan here. Actually, Worcester made some space on him there, actually. And you can hear a little bit of tyre squeak from Crossy's car. Oh, a little bit shaky. Doesn't look overly stable. Doesn't look unstable, but doesn't look like as solid as he's going to need to be to sneak up behind. Oh, and as I say that, he just ranges up on the back of Worcester, gives him a big tap in the back, says, come on, mate. And shoots Worcester across the start-finish line at record speed. Nathan Bewley still out front. George Goddard in second. Will Dixon in the background in the BMW doing a stellar job. Hayden Tegg taken back his fourth position. He can see those three guys in front of him. Still, you can see just in shot there that, yes, that is the Will Dixon car. He will easily be able to see the top three in front. Nick Firth will be getting a glimpse of that as well every now and then, as will Costas and Pete Dawson. Where's Robbie Mitchell, actually? He's just sitting in a bit of clean air there. That car behind him is actually the Rob Fox, I think it's Rob Fox car, which is out of position. Rob running in 17th, I think it is. So Mitchell with some space, albeit in traffic. And Crossy still working over the back of this Lexus. And again, Ken, pedal to the metal. Through the kink. Over the crest. We pick up on it again. This is one lap later. 3 minutes and 44 seconds or so later. And here they are. Tipping into the same corner. Unflappable is Ken Worcester in the Wheels Inc. car. No mistakes. Crossan can only but chase and hope for a mistake. But like we have already talked about tonight, mistakes can so easily happen. Yes, I agree, Haley. On the chat box there, go Hayden. Davo's fanboying on Hayden Tex tonight. He's doing a stellar job, cars. Easily the best looking car out in the field at the moment too, so there's no argument for me. Let's see, which is the two closest cars on track? They would have to be, it is Ken Worcester and Steve Crossland, easily. Oh, Ken very wide. Down towards the pit exit. Entry, exit, entry. Oh, that's Worcester coming in for a pit stop here. Where are we at? 15 minutes to go. Okay, no surprise. Wasn't that long ago we saw him when he pitted the first time. It had Gunther Rose BMW literally beside him. That's actually Hayden in the pits as well. Now, Hayden was the first of the official pit stoppers through the race there with a particularly early, so done and dusted. Let's just see where that car comes out. I think he's going to hold the top 10 there, which is not a bad effort because he went in fourth. Nice work from Teg. That sounds like Lee Perkins' cranky little bumblebee of a Lamborghini behind him. Oh, Tags using all of the road and some. Hayden's got to be careful. This is the home stretch, 15 minutes to run. This car will run to the end now. We just get the cameras back on the Steve Crossland, number 43, SIMBLACKS Aston Martin. Another stunning looking car, mind you. Very, very nice job on that one. Not sure who painted that one actually, as he just gets it out in the sand, just to dirty it up a little bit, make it look like it's actually been at Le Mans. But we did just prior have cameras on the Crossland car as he was in hot pursuit of the Ken Worcester Wheels Inc. Lexi, and Ken Worcester just ducking into the pits there as he was still leading that little fight over Crossland. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Does Crossy cover it off this lap, or does he not? Coming through that final little complex of corners here, and you can see the pit entry there. Now, we did talk about this early, how long this lap is. So if they get down to, I don't know, probably 2 or 3% on their VE, God, some of the drivers watching that aren't racing tonight might be able to tell me, but you know, like VE per lap around here would definitely be a couple of percent. So they would be, or more, would be well aware that if it gets down to a certain point, they cannot go round another lap, and hence we saw multiple cars, massive movement in the pits there in a couple of stages over the first pit stops, and we are just waiting for maybe the final pit stops, which I think we are going to see a flurry, because what are we at? 12 minutes to go. So I can just see it's all going to go down in the last 10 minutes if it's going to go down at all. So watch this space. We would suspect, just look, I'm really basing my comments off what we saw last season with the pit stop situation. It is another 90-minute race here again tonight. Slightly different layout, mind you, could make a difference. But yeah, just watch this space with 11 minutes and about 20 seconds to run in this race. Let's just scroll through this list again. Why? Because we can. And the cars look fantastic, so we're going to get a bit of an eye on all of them. Yeah, Nathan Bewley in the number 17. Mercedes-Benz. Ripping it up. Held down that position for a lap. Oh, I don't even think he got through the second lap before giving it up to George Goddard and dropping back a couple of positions very early in the race. Like I said, either lap 1 or 2. And has worked hard to get that car back to where it could attack George Goddard. But we suspect Goddard might have had a little error allowing Bewley past. There was a reasonably healthy gap between the two cars before we got cameras back on them, and the position had changed, so good work from both Nathan Bewley and George Goddard. No mistakes from either of these boys, so excellent work. Will Dixon, another standout drive. Really, obviously, third position, you've got to put him on the same pedestal with these two boys in front of him. No mistakes, and yeah, just hit his marks, keeping the nose clean and keeping that number 31 BMW pointing in the right direction. Awesome stuff. Nick Firth. Now, I talked to Nick Firth earlier today, and I'm not going to keep cameras on him for too long, because we don't want to put the curse on him, and he is part of the MATCHFIT family, so we're rooting for you, mate. But he did, as we just see him peel off into the pit lane, and we suspected here with 9.5 minutes to go that we're going to start seeing some pit stops. Little flurry of pit stops before the end of the race. He was not confident. He was not confident. He had done not a lot of practice, and we just said, "Come on, mate, you've got this." I think, what did I say to him? Most of the track is straight. So, anyway, so into the pits. Pete Dawson through Mitchell, actually snuck into the pits lane just in behind Firthy there as well. Puts Steve Crossan up into probably 6th position there now. Hayden Tegg, who we saw a pit stop, so he's been the first pit stopper, pretty much official pit stopper in the field both times. So came in early in the race, and then again came in early there as well. So and Mitchell both rolling out now. Firthy out on track already. Mitchell, and who's that's going to round up Mitchell? That looks like Chris Fraser, yes, in the Mustang. And that is Ken Worcester. Now, Ken Worcester actually already pitted as well. We did see that sneaky little pit stop come in there from Ken. So, just watch this space over the next 8 minutes and 1 second, just to see where all these boys land, because you will see more pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. Some will get it right, some will get it wrong. The pressure is on right at the end. Who else did we not touch on? We got down to Lee Perkins, mate Perko. We don't mind a rally together, old Davo and Perko. We get out in their rally cars and get dirty. He's all right. Steering the Lamborghini, looks like he's trying to wrestle a rally car. As does Shane Fontano in just quietly. Shane Fontano in the Ferrari, quite often looks like he's driving a freaking rally car as well. But I think that's just Shane's style. Actually, let's get a camera shot. Look at the bugs on the windscreen. That Shane Fontano's Ferrari there. So blood splattered, I was going to say. Bug splattered. Windscreens is the flavour of the day, as I think we are in George Goddard's car as they roll around this back section of the track here. These boys need to pit. Nathan Bewley in the pit lane. Of course he is. That is George Goddard in the background, just sneaking in as well. I would suspect we would see Will Dixon also follow suit, as we saw these three guys do exactly the same. Dixon getting it all kinds of wrong, trying to look for a big stop there. He's got to get this control line right. Looked like he got it down nicely. Bewley already off the jacks. Quick, smart. Nice work. No mistake. Bewley. Again, Goddard. Smooth as silk, just like these guys not making mistakes. I mean, well, just talking about Bewley and Goddard, they both made mistakes this race. So they've swapped positions a couple of times. Who hasn't made the mistake is Will Dixon, actually. There you go. Go Dicko, he's doing okay. And out of the pit lane, we see Pete Dawson in the pit lane. We also see Costas Makrolos in the pit lane. Okay, so who didn't pit there? Nick Firth didn't pit. So he would definitely be covering off next lap. Costas rolling out about the same distance, I would suspect, in front of Costas, Peter there as before. And, oh, look, another quick stop from Costas. Look how close that exchange as he left the pit lane there with Hayden Tegg just sneaking past him. If Tegg had got held up behind him there, would have been interesting to see what happened there. But Tegg taking that position, that car will end up in fourth position as the pit stop equalise. Lee Perkins in the Bumblebee in the pit lane as well. So let's just get back to that Costas little deal there. What's going on there, Costas? Where's Costas? He's chasing Tegg. He's done all right. Okay, so yeah, he's made a good gain because he's gained on Dawson and he's tagged on the back of Hayden now. So this could go down to the wire. This might be the fight to the finish line, and it will be technically for fourth position, because I think that's Steve Crossan out in front, and unless he's been conservative, I would expect to see that car stop again. Hard to tell. It's hard to tell when they're not in traffic, I tell ya. Let's get back to this though. Costas in the Chevy, chasing down the Mustang. Big stop. We've been talking about it all night, how big that stop is at the end of Mulsanne. Great footage from inside the car. Costas Makrolos Smashing it down through the gears. Big wriggle trying to get that car to stop. Very unsettling. A lot of weight transfer on the chassis. They run this other very quick, long, straight section. Well, it's not straight. It keeps on kicking, but this deadly little right-hander. A lot of camber on these corners, but still so easily overcooked. And you don't want overcooked. Oh, Costas deep, gathers it up. Pushing hard. He's got the big golf-coloured carrot in front of him. It's going hard. Bewley across the line. Goddard across the line. Dixon across the line. This will be the final lap we are on now. Bewley under the Dunlop Bridge. Fantastic shots. Goddard. Steve Crossland in the pit lane as we suspected. Sneak it in there. Where is Hayden Tegg? There is Hayden Tegg. Across the start finish line for one more lap with Costas in tow. Look in the background there. That is Pete Dawson and Harry Lawrence. Harry Lawrence is going to make... He's not stopping the second time. He has conserved enough to get that thing to where it is, which is going to put him in 7th or something there, which isn't too bad. Unless he can get a handle on that Aston in a straight line. Don't know whether the V-Dob's got the measure, to be honest. But we are soon going to Gunther Rowe in and out of the pit lane, as is who else would I have expected to see there as well? I don't know. Somebody just snuck out though. Anyway, back to the action. Nick Firth holding down 8th position. And all cars in front of him, I suspect, have done their pit stops. Well, it's too late now because we are on the final freaking lap, ladies and gentlemen. And all these guys have got to do is bring it home. Dan Mulsane, look what's going on in the background. I did say I didn't know whether the VW had straight. Look at this. Looking for the side draft off the Aston. I'm sure there's plenty of it. Ducks back in, goes, come on. Get some more momentum and have another crack at it. Harry. He does too. Gets it back out there. Down the inside though, Dawson, ever the gentleman, gives him plenty of space to work with. I think Pete's confident that once out of the draft though, oh, but he's held on the outside there. He's got to pull that up. Here we go. Oh, my. Harry Lawrence in 6th position. Who would have thunk it? He has been way back all race. And there he is, just sneaking past Pete Dawson for 6. We are going to just chase the leader for the last few corners here, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Bewley currently leading the championship over Nick Firth. Outstanding drive, little tiny error early in the race, put him back a few positions. He's worked hard to get it back. Looked like George Goddard actually was gonna take the win there for quite some time, well over half race, before maybe a little error from Goddard has allowed Nathan Bewley pass and across the line to win the race. George Goddard in the number 96, Ferrari in 2nd position. Great race from both of those guys. Will Dixon, I've said it all. stellar job. He's made less mistakes than the two boys in front of him, and he comes in third. Nice work. Hayden Tegg, fanboying on this car all night, and for good reason. Just smack your eyes on that thing. Fantastic looking car, and a stellar drive from Hayden Tegg. Costas on the chase the whole time. Look at Harry Lawrence and the gap he's got on Pete Dawson over for 7th. Harry Lawrence in 6th. Oh my. 8th position for Nick Firth, who is 2nd in the championship. Chris Fraser getting that Mustang over for 9th. And Ken Worcester ran at the top 10. Well done, Ken Worcester too, bro. Oh God, everybody wanted to have a crack at you tonight. Rob Mitchell in 11th. Steve Crosland being one of those people, actually, that was trying to chase down Ken Worcester. Steve Crosland in 12th. Shane Fronado in 13th. Bringing it across the line. Hey, look, all of these guys in very close succession. Gunther Rowe. Oh, just driving that thing straight in the pits. Probably needs a bit of VE or something just to make sure he doesn't get a penalty. No doubt. Joseph Money in the 101 Mercedes-Benz in 15th position. He might get a position on Gunther Rowe here, as might Lee Perkins. How close is that little fight? That's going to be the closest fight across the line for the whole race. So nice work, and they both actually get Gunther Rowe. Mr. Fox already in the box, so nice work. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Davo running freaking solo tonight. I need a drink. I don't know. Hang on a sec. I don't know whether... I don't even know whether we'll do drive it news. Maybe we will. I don't know. Just let me get going on. Anyway, look, let me thank you, legends. You guys, the guys that are tuning in just quickly before we do anything else. Well, I just have a think about what we're doing drive interview-wise. Sebring next week, which is a 75-minute race. Let me just see whether I can get these boys to come and have a quick chat. Okay, let's go. Let's try and do this. Who we got? Who we got there? Will Dixon, George Goddard, and so first and foremost, third position after 90 minutes at Lemans. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Mr. Will Dixon. Have you got comms on? Will, can you hear us?
Yeah, mate, you got me?
Yes, loud and clear.
How are you?
Awesome. A little bit hoarse. I've been rolling solo tonight. So
appreciate the work, mate.
Too easy. You guys put on a show, and I was just letting the ladies and gentlemen know that out of the top 3, you were the only one that didn't really make any mistakes, because both the other boys did in front of you. So nice work. Holding on to that. You could still see him at the end there, nearly, couldn't you?
Oh no, they were a bit too rapid for me, mate. I was just taking it easy.
Yeah. So how was your race? No mistakes. Just head down and hit your marks. You got a few positions early on there.
Yeah, no, it was a good start. The old draft train was working well.
Yep.
But once the two boys at front got away, I was just trying to conserve and not do anything silly.
Yep.
Wishing I had fucking cruise control for the back straight.
Yep. The old leg's getting a bit sore. I'm hearing ya. Look, stellar effort, mate. Good race for you. Just sort of running a little bit in clean air all night, and in good position, mate. You sort of can't ask for anything better. But yeah, nice work, Will. I'm going to make it short and sweet. I don't have my wingman beside me, so he's usually full of questions. Maybe me not so much. But anyway, congratulations, Will Dixon on third position. Stellar drive, mate. Well done, mate.
Not a problem, mate. Thanks. Cheers for doing the stream as well.
Too easy, man. We will see you next week. Sebring next week.
Catch you, mate.
Okay, thanks, Will. Will Dixon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just poke him back up there. Okay, look. Oh, I'm clicking stuff. I did something here. I'm doing okay, and now I need to get Mr. George Goddard. Mr. George Goddard. Did I get Mr. George Goddard? I think I got the right George. Is this the right George? George Goddard.
Hey, mate.
We've got the right George. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, but tired after that.
It's just a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's a tough race.
Yeah. I was saying to Firth earlier in the day, I said, what's the problem, mate? You don't need to practice half of it straights, you know?
Yeah. It's just that bloody last sector, eh?
Yeah, she's tricky. It's tricky. It's beautiful to watch, though. The platform it looked really good. You guys' cars and just the racing for the opening laps was spectacular. Spectacular to watch,
Yeah.
George, you know, like really good and some really good clean stuff. So testament to all you guys, you know, like a couple of little unforced errors sneaking in there for a few drivers. I won't name any names. They know who they are. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, what was it? Lap one talking about little niggly mistakes that you ended found yourself in the lead. Was it lap one or two?
I think Bewley must have had a little disconnection or something because he just disappeared for a second and then I was in front of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And then I managed to get the gap out to about 5 seconds on that first stint. But yeah, as the sun started coming up and I got onto that new tank of gas, like I just really struggled to feel the grip in the car and like through the Porsche curves, the Ferrari just wants to kill you like non-stop. So
every
I
lap.
had a moment there. Yeah, really, it's not nice through there. So I had a moment through there and managed to keep it off the wall. But yeah, that's where he got me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a bit unfortunate. We didn't pick it up on cameras. I was probably too busy trying to do South African accents or talking about somebody else's mishap. But
yep.
But yeah, look, it was notable. The boys put it up in the chat box and let us know. But yeah, it looked like you had it.
Yeah, I don't think I did. I think Bewley was always going to get me.
He was coming. He was coming slow though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think once like I struggled a bit more with tire dig than him and just sort of pace consistency overall in the second half of the race. And
Yep.
I think there was he managed to pull quite a big gap on me after that moment I had anyways.
Yeah.
So I think he was always going to get me, I think.
Yep. Either way, second at Le Mans. Now you did win this race last season, didn't you, in the Mustang?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a very nice strategy and yeah, I still remember it. Awesome stuff, mate. So, so you got to be happy with second here.
I was honestly, I just wanted to finish the race. That's how scary the car is.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm happy to just finish. Like
fair call.
Seriously, man. Yeah, the Ferrari was not a nice car through there.
Yeah, just got up, just chose violence like all night. Yeah,
it just wanted to kill you.
Yeah. Look, great to talk to you again, George. Yeah, awesome work on the second position. Mate, I haven't got much more to say. See you next week at Sebring.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome, man. Well done.
Sweet. Cheers.
George Goddard, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, let's just sneak him back up there. And we have one more. If I've chosen the correct Nathan Bewley, have we got Nathan Bewley on in comms? 10-4. We have Nathan Bewley in comms. I'm still kicking goals here. I'm running solo tonight, Nathan. So I'm got the buttons are clicking. I'll tell you. Anyway, good to have you here. Congrats on the race win. Talk to us about maybe some little mistakes earlier on or a little bit of a dropout. I think George said you might have had a little disco or something.
Yeah, it looked like a dropout. I'm not too sure if it was internet-wise or just like a screen freeze.
Yep.
And then yeah, that happened, and then I was like obviously lost the position then to George, then lost it to Will, and then to Shane. And then once I was there, then it was fine, and then it was like, it was just then trying to get past him, and oh my god,
Yeah.
I swear that this Mercedes was at this track was one of the slowest cars in a straight line. Like he'd literally draft up to somebody, pull out, and then they'd still pull away, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I had to absolutely just try everything, like just trying to get past them in the sectors where the car was so good. And then a bit unfortunate for what happened to George, like his spin, because
Yeah.
I felt like he probably would have won the race.
Yeah.
If he didn't have that, because we were pretty close in the times.
You were.
Once I got past Will and Shane, like we were pretty close, and then I felt like once we did the first pit stop, I don't know if he struggled to get the tires back like up to temp, but it felt like for like the first, I'd say like 5 laps of that stint, I was a lot faster than him, but then it looked like then it kind of went the other way where he was faster at the back end of the stint. So yeah, if he didn't have a spin, it would have been interesting to see like how close it would have been going into the final pit stop.
Sure. Look, the joys of bloody sim racing, isn't it, mate? You know, these little techie issues that sometimes interrupt things, and at the end of the day, look, after 90 minutes, it was a stellar race, and it was quite a battle. Even though there's some distance between you guys here at Le Mans, that's still a fight. You know, when
and especially when you like look at Woodcourt, you know, other than his like spin, he had a very good race in it, because you know you actually look at like the fastest lap times, and Woodcourt were literally half a tenth.
Yep.
So you know it's like the cars were very evenly like matched, and all. And
Absolutely.
even Will and Firth, you know, he was only like I think like 2/10 off like the fastest lap that I did.
What
so,
you were doing.
Yeah, so it was like a very close, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And look, and you watch the stream back, because there was plenty going on behind you. You lot.
Oh, mate, like I always say, I've always got to tomorrow, you know, because it's like that's the thing, you know, you're so focused on what it's happening right in front of you. So you don't see everything else, but then you can always sit back and watch and be like, geez, look at this, look at these awesome moves, or something that someone else is putting on. That's something, you know, they're in their own like little race and you never even realize what's going on.
No, you're oblivious to it and so focused on what you guys are doing, and again, just all you guys, particularly in the top 3. Actually, and I've got to put Hayden Tegg into that little mix there as well. Hayden drove a stellar race actually behind you guys in 4th position. It's a shame that he's still not in town.
Yeah, he was saying that he probably might have been able to get third. He said that he struggled a little bit during the night trying to get the temps up.
Yeah.
And all. So yeah, but even then, that's still a fantastic result and all, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, to be honest, like Whitaker, you know, anyone who finishes the race, you know, that's a fantastic result as it is.
It is. No, true. And like when you watch and you see how quickly the field actually comes across the line with, you know, only a couple of cars lapped down at the end, you know, like the field's actually still relatively close. You know, there's not a lot in it, you know, like so.
Of course, and it seemed like Whitaker, it seemed like different people ran different strategies. You know, we had, I'm pretty sure, say, Hayden on the field. I think he started with like the least amount of E, so obviously his first stint was like shorter. But then that meant obviously, you know, that obviously no matter what he did, you know, like that compared to everyone else, hey, it still worked out for him. But it just shows you, you know, you don't always have to run kind of what everyone else is running to still then get good results, you know.
Nah, that's right. That's endurance racing. This is what it's all about. These little mini enduro style races, and these are just long enough to test that, aren't they, Nathan? I suppose.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because you know, you literally get the thing of what you know. You have just say something like this. You know, you have your 2 pit stops. But the tire wear and all that felt pretty good, so you didn't need to. But you know, in some races you could start to getting into that realm of changing tires, and then you've also got you know, like we had here.
Yep.
Night to day, so you had the different temperatures, like it would have got, you know, some people looked like they struggled a little bit more in the night, whether that was getting the tires up to temp or just keeping it in. But then when it turned to daytime, you then see it looked like other people then started to get faster and all that. So yeah, there's always like strategy, you know, going on
Definitely.
all around you.
Absolutely, and we do love the time accelerator. We do love to watch that transition as we
Oh mate,
go either
it was
way.
awesome. It
Yeah,
was awesome. There was,
yeah,
I think it was like just the only bad, not bad, but it was when the sun started to come up. It was like some of the curves started to get a little, especially the ones that were like right on the ground. They weren't like raised or anything. They were
yeah,
getting a little bit hard to see. So it was kind of like, oh,
yeah, 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 yeah.
even though it's kind of like, oh, can I stick my head up a bit more to see that?
Yeah, and the sun beaming straight into your eyes every now and then, just like a big flash of sun flare. So, sure, it all adds to the immersion, and that's obviously part of the reason you guys are here. You're here for the competition as well, but it's all about sim racing and just enjoying what you're doing and just getting into it as much as you can. And look, when you get fields like that and races like that, that just helps that whole picture, doesn't it? So. Nice work, Nathan. Once again on the win. We have Sebring next week. Thoughts on Sebring?
Uh, I like the track. I haven't driven it in the Mercedes, so I can't like give any comments about
Okay.
like how it feels or anything.
Yep.
But I mean, it's kind of like the same here, It was like I hadn't driven a lap here before in the thing, and then
Yep.
got to, and it just kind of all went into place. So we've got But
Sure.
I mean, like I said, I'm not too fussed, about where I am, and as long as I could have a good time, that's all. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. Awesome stuff. Thanks for joining us again here
No
tonight,
problem. Hey, mate,
Nathan.
since you've been on a solo, mate, have a drink.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. I'm gonna sneak out for a quick break and get into. Yes, get a drink into me. Awesome stuff, Nathan. See you next week. Congratulations again, mate. Well done.
Thank you. Yep. See you next week for Sebring.
There you go. Nathan Bewley, ladies and gentlemen, joining us there in the hot box for post race interview there for round 7 at Le Mans for Rainlight Racing's 2025 LMU series, ladies and gentlemen. Davo running solo, J-Man with some techie issues tonight, but we have this. We've got this, as the youth say, ladies and gentlemen. Sebring next week, 75 minutes. Wow! After tonight, that'll be a freaking walk in the park. I'll we'll easily handle that one. Just quickly before we go, we're going to thank. We've got to thank. Obviously, I'm going to thank myself, Davo. We're doing such a great job. But MATCHFIT Entertainment, obviously, stable internet connections these days. We've had some technical people out here to check things out, and so stable connections for MATCHFIT Entertainment for now and into the future. We're going to thank SIMBLACKS for getting on board again with Rainlight Racing for their 2025 LMU series. It is their season 10 LMU series here. And what else? Oh, yes, the graphic. Follow Rainlight Racing on their socials, ladies and gentlemen. That is a QR code to their Instagram. Jump on there, give them some support, give them some love, and stay up to date with everything Rainlight Racing. People, thank you so much, legends, for joining me and freaking bearing with me and my whiny little Aussie voice for the last 90 plus minutes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a thumbs up if I did okay. Even if I just did okay, a thumbs up. Isn't that worthy? Anyway, I need a break. I'm tired. I'm done. See you all next week. Good night.